the number one complaint that that clients often have, actually the number one complaint, I've actually talked to people who defend attorneys against the bar, and they say the number one complaint is lack of communication.
Yeah.
None of my clients have that issue. It's usually me, reaching out to them going, so, that form I asked for last week, where is it? And being low volume allows me to do that, and that's what I mean by my personal touch, so to speak. And that's why, like, in the initial consult, I tend to be very official and very abrasive almost. Not really. I mean, it depends on the client, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, but I'm very direct, and I'm just like, and I've told that to people. If I see you're uncomfortable, if you don't like me now, you're gonna hate it. And I've had people come back going, oh my God, you are the most refreshing person we've talked to. You didn't dance around the issue. You told me exactly what my issues were, exactly how you're gonna get it done, and exactly how much it costs. So I've had people come back saying, that's amazing. And like that's what they're looking for. And then I've had people leave and never come back because they're like, if you're unsure, because I'll tell them, I don't know percentages, but here are the issues and here's what could happen. And some people don't like that. They just want to hear how you're going to make it work and how you're going to get it granted. And then later on, they complain that you promised this, and no amount of, there's no guarantee, and they don't hear that. Right. So
it's like it's not up to me. It's like some U.S. officer, you might be 100% correct, but you still get denied. It's like it's 50-50. Either it happens or it's not. It's binary. I just tell them that. So I had a guy asking about tourist visas yesterday. When he got off the phone, I was like, dude, it's up to the consular officer. If they want to give it, they're going to give it. Like, what's the lawyer going to add? I'm like, well, a lot of people have their travel agent fill out the DS-160 and they just make stuff up and they don't proofread it. And then all of a sudden you have a misrep issue 5 years down the line when you get married. So my job is so you don't mess it up. But a tourist visa, it's like, dude, just go in and pray. That's I pray more than
right. And you hope that. Yeah, and half the times the officers don't even look at the paperwork that you bring with you.
99%. I wish that was half.
Okay, 99%. Yeah, I don't do these. I turn people away. I'm like, this is something you got to do on your own, And the thing is, they talk to people. They know the likelihood of being granted or not, And in some cases, they're told, yeah, you got to tell them you have a kid, and then that does come back to bite them because then it's like they get an RFE for who's that kid. Or, oh, you were married. You said you were married on your, B1 or B2, application.
What was that? Yeah.
And then they're like, well, where's the divorce decree?
I have cases where they don't list their jobs properly just because they're lazy, and later on they want to do a L1 intercompany transfer, and then they'll come back years later and say, well, on your DS-160, you didn't tell us about this job you had there. Now you're saying you had a job during that time. Why is there inconsistency? That fraud? And the client's like, yeah, I had my cousin who spoke English fill out the form, and he just filled it out. I'm like, no, that's the aspect I want to be a lawyer on a tourist visa, which is really not, you don't need a lawyer for, because they just to avoid them shooting themselves in the foot. That's really, it's a precautionary thing. But yeah, it's like not that much value I can necessarily add. You just keep them from saying some lie at the interview because their friend told them to lie or be some false documents. Like, no, it's better you get denied, but you don't have misrep. The computer systems are all connected now. They know everything. It's not like it used to.
Exactly. I mean, it's the federal government, right? If they want to know something, they're going to find out. Back when I was an officer, it was unlikely. That's something that I learned working there. It's like, hey, their taxes look weird. Can we look it up? No. Unless you want to walk this down to the IRS, like, no. And even then, there's so many privacy issues, right?
Yeah.
And so, but now, who knows? I
was at Chatsworth talking with a training officer. He's like, I used to have access because I'm a trainer, but now it's everybody. They know your utility bills, like everything pops up. And that's one of the reasons that the interviews, when they go over address history, they'll be like, are you sure you're at this address? Because they might be on the utility bill on their cousin's address or their mom's address. And so there's that kind of inconsistency that pops up during interviews. But I just say, no, it's my mom's address or something. If they get into it, which usually they don't, but they have a lot of access. And Trump made some regulatory changes so they could access even IRS stuff nowadays to take away that wall. Was it IRS or just some other major stuff? So there's no hiding stuff. And so, yes, you got to talk to clients and be prepared. And, it is what it is.
And assume that they know, and assume that they're going to come back and, and confront you with it. And please, 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 and I tell this to clients, prospective clients all the time, don't let the interview be the time that your attorney finds out that you have 6 kids in Mexico, okay? Or that, you were married 3 times, or, because it is going to be a very uncomfortable situation where your wife just found out that you had all these, prostitution, solicitation charges.
Yeah,
That's going to come up. And then what are you going to do? Because now not only is your wife pissed off at you, your attorney's pissed off at you, and the officer's looking at you like you're insane. So you don't want to be in that position. So it's better to tell your attorney, get in front of it, or have the attorney tell you, look, there's really nothing we can do.
Exactly.
It's better that is always, bad news is better than no news.
Yeah. And it's people, someone's like, why am I going to pay for consultation? I'm like, it's better the facts and you can't do something. I mean, I'll teach you in the car, immigration lawyers and this, but it's better to know the truth rather than try to guess something and go in there. And so it doesn't make any sense.